the Philadelphia Eagles. All that and more coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody, alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs of breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
We're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be commanded by their 6'3" quarterback from Central Michigan, Cooper Rush.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rush. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Here comes Rager. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Got what they needed pickup. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. Buying time. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Hurts. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
To throw is Rush. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try to protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Rush. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this returnable for Rager. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Dante Fowler in on the stop. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession, as they've got it 2nd and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rush. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Washington. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Again, it's Elliott. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, rush. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Throwing here, rush. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 50 yards. And the Eagles post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rush. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
The Dallas Cowboys provide a fresh opportunity for wide receiver James Washington, who picks up a first down with that catch. He ended up sinking down the depth chart in Pittsburgh after posting 700 yards in his second season.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So a pick-6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick-6 going the other way.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover with a big dose of honey.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Here's Hurts. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Neville Gallimore powering his way in and burying him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task. They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone, possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Elliott now to have the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Rush to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Here's Sanders. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
Sanders is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, if this defense has any hopes of getting back into this game, they've got to start right here and keep these guys out of the end zone. That's a good step 1 on that play.
Second down and goal. Hurts. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. On 2nd and 7, Rush. He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now the Cowboys are going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So that challenge is successful. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Rush. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man, Lamb. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Rush's throw hauled in by Washington. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll make it 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get it right back to Washington. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Dallas.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he's going to get this down near the 25. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 15. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So flying Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But the absolute pitch is shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you you got to like what you saw when they called out a total team effort. I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up